What is one piece of advice that you would give somebody else your age right now that might even just be considering thinking about public speaking?
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's you!
My favorite quote in the world. Hi, guys.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Chicks in Charge Automotive Edition. I am Jess.
I'm Shasta.
And today we have a very special guest, and technically it's part 2 of her coming on the show. We've had her before back in May at the Women in Automotive conference in Colorado Springs. We had her live, and it was her very first speaking gig. Some of you may remember Miss Kaylee Jewert. She is our 13-year-old that got to speak live on stage at the Women in Automotive conference in Colorado Springs back in May. Hi, Kaylee. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
We are doing so great, and we're so excited to have you back on with us. So many great things happened to you from that Women in Automotive conference back in May, didn't it? One of which being the opportunity to go and speak at the TEDx Southlake conference. What was that, just 2 weeks ago? Yeah, that was super cool. What a great opportunity. Tell us a little bit about that opportunity and what you spoke on and what that was like for you.
So I did Shifting Generational Dynamics and How It Impacts Teenage Mental Health. I do not expect anyone to have that memorized yet because it took me at least a week. And it was a really great experience. I was also there with my dad's boss who helps out with TEDx, so it was really fun. And he lives in Texas, so I got to learn a little bit more about like Grapevine and Southlake. So it was really fun.
And where are you originally from, Kaylee?
Colorado.
Okay, gotcha.
So that conference, the Women in Automotive conference, was pretty close to home for you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And what like an hour or two drive, but
not bad.
Gotcha. Yeah. What a great experience that was for you. And I know that we had so much fun meeting you. We got to chat with you a lot while we were there on site in Colorado Springs. And that was a great experience for us. But I remember you right before you went up on that stage and you were like, my legs are shaking. I'm so nervous. What was that experience like for you, being your very first speaking experience?
So for Women in Automotive, I was just like, I had to have my headphone in so that I could do something to like calm me down. And I was just trying to get all my thoughts in like one little bubble and then just like remember that I have it memorized. Oh, there, my camera just turned out. Okay. Just make sure I have everything memorized. And then walking up there, I was like, oh my gosh. And like, then I get up there and I do my talk. And my dad's always like, you sped through it. And then whenever I watch the video again, I can just feel the anxiety again. I'm like, hey, I don't know if I want to watch this much because I could just feel like the anxiety, like it's reliving the anxiety. But yeah. I honestly think I still did pretty good. So
you did wonderful in Colorado. I'm sure you did wonderful in Southlake. Tell us a little bit about what that experience was like in Southlake for you. How many people were in attendance?
So there were around 100 people in Southlake, and it was a really cool experience because it was at a movie theater type place, and it was really cool to be able to go backstage for something, and the letters were super cool to just stand by. And like, it still hasn't processed yet that I've done a TED Talk. I mean, it's processed that I've done a speaking thing, but it's not like a TED Talk. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I only dreamed about this when I was a kid.
When you were a kid.
Have you watched that one back yet?
No, I haven't. I have not got the video yet.
Are you excited to watch that one back? Are you nervous?
I am.
I have to know what gave you the idea to choose this topic. What was it? Shifting generational dynamics and how it impacts mental health. How did you choose that topic? How did you land on that?
So I love psychology, and I also really enjoy like speaking up for kids and saying, hey, we have good ideas, all this. Because at Women in Automotive, I did how you need to influence the next generation and just bringing the next generations into light. And so when I put them together, it's like there's this mental health problem that's been happening that I've noticed, and the amount of anxiety and depression among Gen Z and soon to be like Gen Alpha has like skyrocketed. Mm-hmm. And it's just seeing that, I was like, no one really notices this, and what's really causing this? So I looked into it, and it's just seeing how social media and COVID and parenting styles and all that, how these changes have changed the way that we react to certain situations and our social skills and all this. And just putting it into a TED Talk to hopefully reach out to parents, adults, and even kids so that, one, they don't feel as afraid to get help, and two, that there's someone that they can get help from.
And we were talking about this a little bit before we started recording. What are some of the tips or key takeaways that you had in your session that you're okay with sharing with us right now?
So in there, something that I really wanted people to take away was, one, social media is not the cause for everything, and social media doesn't always make issues. It can create a safe space for many, and if we keep making social media how it is now, it's only going to make the next generations almost the same and see it as comparison. But if we start to adapt and make social media seem more of an inviting place, it can become like a place for learning and creativity and just feeling comfortable for expressing oneself on there. And also that we need to be able to ask for help and not put all this hate around asking for help.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Well, and I think of a lot of good that comes from social media too. You know, a lot of posts. I don't know what's been going on lately in our area. We've seen a lot of lost dogs lately.
We have.
And a lot of people being able to be reconnected with their pets because of, you know, local Facebook groups or just communities around Facebook that wouldn't have happened without the power of social media, and us in business, the connections that we make because of social media. And I think a lot of times we overlook things like that.
Yeah.
And that's the foundations that we're building for future generations. And we overlook it because we take it for granted. And so it's not just, you know, the personal side of things, but also the business side of things or the community side of things. You know, what are we preparing for them?
Yeah. And social media, like what I see on there might be different than what you see because I'm a kid. They're going to target certain things towards me. And so I just see things about tech or stuff like that, but to someone else, they might see something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just when you look at what other people see, you start to realize, oh, there's this bubble of stuff, but what about my bubble of stuff? And then just like comparing them and just seeing this one's more about comparison, but this one's more about learning. So how do we make the comparison add more learning in there and stuff? And
Right.
For sure.
So how did you get into public speaking to begin with? Because as we mentioned at the very beginning of this episode, you're only 13 years old. Most adults don't even get into public speaking until well into their 20s or 30s. So tell us how you got into public speaking so young.
So my dad he must have got like an email or something about Women in Automotive, and he's like, hey, do you want to fill this out and do a like keynote at Women in Automotive? And I'm like, sure, I guess. Like, why not? Like, I'll try anything. And so we fill it out and we submit it. I get myself a speaking gig and I'm like, OMG, I got it. And it's just, that was the start. And now I'm thinking of public speaking as part of my career now.
Wow. That's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing any public speaking classes?
Hopefully I will do some concurrent enrollment ones where it's college level public speaking classes.
Okay.
So
What does getting selected for TEDx Southlake, what does that mean to you moving forward?
one, add something to my resume, which is always important. And two, just knowing that I can make an impact on at least one person's life to make them think, hey, there's more to all of this than just something that they might have learned from my TED Talk, and just knowing that I've actually made it somewhere really important early on, and it just shocks me.
That's awesome. And I saw that you were there in Southlake with a lot of other really cool big names, not even just automotive industry. In fact, I think very few were in automotive, but just in general. Who do you think your coolest connection was that you made?
So honestly, some of my favorite people that I had there were Eliana, Kathy Gilbert, Uma was amazing. I really like a lot of the automotive people. Katie, she's amazing. I can't remember one of the ladies' names, but she did one on like nutrition and stuff. That one. She's really nice. And then I also met this one girl there, and now I'm friends with her. And I brought my best friend, so now it's me,
cool.
her, and my best friend. We're all pretty good friends.
Nice.
Awesome. Were you the youngest speaker?
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Is that intimidating to you?
Honestly, I think it's kind of a flex, personally.
Okay, there you go.
I mean, like, I'm the youngest speaker, so you already have an advantage when you're the youngest speaker. So
There's like already more eyes on
I
you,
know.
and you already
Yeah.
capture the attention of everybody. I think everybody else has to up their game a little bit more to get the attention of everybody, because it's like, well, everybody's already paying attention to her.
I mean, I remember at Women in Automotive, whenever we found out there was a 13-year-old speaker, we're like, hang on a second, we must really need to hear this girl out, because what is going on right now? So that was a huge deal, and that's really cool. And I can see how that does draw the attention just right to you too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you foresee any more speaking gigs in your future? Are you going to speak at WIA in 2025?
I really want to do WIA 2025, and a little secret on what I'm thinking about doing is a shift in management styles, because my dad has a bunch of old management books, and I'll just study them, make a presentation on how, like, to manage Gen Alpha differently, and just how, like, our next generation does not act the same as the rest.
Right.
We have already seen some of the stuff Gen Alpha has, like Skibbity Toilet. I have no idea what that is still.
What?
I'm really concerned by Skibbity Toilet.
I've never actually heard anybody use it. I've just heard like the people making fun of it, but I've never actually heard anybody use it.
I'm confused.
Like, a lot of people say Skibbity Ohio Riz, and I'm like, great, you're Gen Alpha.
It's new generation.
They're like making a Netflix series on it or something.
No!
It's fake words that mean nothing. You've never heard it?
No!
Oh. Yeah.
You have kids that are like that prime age.
No, they
where
don't
I
use it. They don't use it. No, I've heard it like on Facebook, like people making fun of it, that it means nothing. Yeah.
It's just this, like, head in a toilet, basically. It's really weird.
Yeah, it means nothing.
Okay.
But you see, the next generation is
Were they
It's like the new, it's like
different.
bet or I don't know. I can't even think of
lit?
how each generation just comes up with their own words that
Oh
don't
my
mean
God.
shit. It's just
Mm.
new ways of coming up with words that already exist. They just want new ways to say them.
I think Kaylee, I think that you need to create a dictionary for all these different.
That would be so much fun. Just be like,
Oh, man.
My favorite one that I am actually thinking about adopting is when people call hot dogs glizzies. That's my new favorite. And I don't even know why. Like I just like that one.
I'm true.
I saw this video once, and you know those little things of like cotton, things that look like hot dogs, that if you like peel, like, hold on, wait, let me see if I can.
The plant that looks
Yeah.
like a
Oh,
corn dog.
yeah. I know.
Yeah, it's just like wild glizzy, and he just takes a bite out of it.
Oh, and then it's like
Yeah, it's just,
mm-mm,
oh my gosh, I would probably never eat a hot dog the same way.
mm-mm. Those are gross.
So Kaylee, you are a freshman in high school.
Mhm.
That's a big deal for you. On top of dipping your toes into public speaking
Mhm.
and completing high school, what do your friends think about this? Like, do all of your other friends do cool things like this too, or is it just you?
I think I'm the only one who does a lot of these cool things, but honestly, from my experience, for a while I would always talk about myself and people would take it as bragging, so I've learned to kind of shift and not talk about myself as much anymore. So my friends, we just hang out, and I'm like, one time we were casually sitting in Spanish class, and I just start doing my TED Talk, and it's like, there she goes again.
Well, and it's cool that you're inviting,
Right.
You know, you said you brought your best friend with you. It's cool that you're inviting them, because it's some people never get exposed to any of this, and seeing that it's possible for somebody their age to get to do this
Mhm.
is really cool, because some parents never even do stuff like this. And so getting exposed to it at a young age like this, like, it may seem like bragging to some people, but for others, it may be the only exposure they get.
It's opening your career at such an early age and opening up doors for you that you would have never known even existed otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't wait until my oldest starts really showing interest in doing things, because I would love to get her just being there, just watching someone like you, Kaylee, get up on a stage and talking to hundreds of people. just to have her witness it would make my heart happy, just to let her know like this is possible. And look at this 13-year-old girl that's two years older than you that's already up on these stages and doing these things. And it just really, it's a breath of fresh air. And it shows your generation that there's more to life than just what they can see right now.
Yeah. It's just, I did TED Talk like practices for different classes. First, I did one for a psychology class at my school, and they were like, oh my gosh, we're all seniors in this room. This is a freshman. How is she doing this? So whenever I'm around like sophomores or anyone who's a higher class than me, they were just shocked that I'm doing this in freshman year. And then I did practice runs in like my math class, and I think I did one. Oh, I did one in my business class, and people actually were pretty interested. It was really cool.
I know the fact that you're the same age as my son is kind of blowing my mind right now.
You're just such a shining light for those behind you, Kaylee, and you are a trailblazer of your own right now. And it's just amazing to watch. And I cannot wait to see how much further you go. And I really can't wait to hear you speak at Women in Automotive 2025, because we know without a shadow of a doubt that you are going to be on that agenda, and we can't wait to hear you.
Thank you.
What is your driver that you would say?
One, resumes, because that's a good way to get a good job and to get into college.
Most kids don't even have resume in their mind at 13.
I had a business class all 3 years of middle school, so.
That's awesome.
That's my other kid.
It's like, yeah, I had to learn about resumes and stuff like that. 6th grade, then 7th grade, then 8th grade we did like entrepreneurship is what we mainly learned about. So, and the thing that really drives me also is 1, impacting, and 2, it's just fun to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it is a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun to make those connections and meet the people.
I love networking
and getting to travel to the different places that you get to go to do these things. That's awesome. What is one piece of advice that you would give somebody else your age right now that might even just be thinking about public speaking?
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's you!
My favorite quote in the world.
She says it all the time. I love that
quote in the world.
You may have just became her favorite.
I've integrated into my best friend's like conversations now, because she'll be talking with some of her friends, or she'll be talking with me, and she'll be like, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Do it, just do it." And I'm like,
"That's amazing.
I'm scared."
Do it, but do it scared.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Kaylee. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show with us today. Again, it was such a pleasure to have you on the show for the second time. We love seeing your face. We love chatting with you and hearing all of the big things that you're up to. And we cannot wait to do it again soon, because we know you're going to be on here again and again and again. And people might be tired of seeing your face or hearing your voice. I don't care. Get used to it, because this is Kaylee Jewert, everybody. So without further ado, in a world where you can be anything, be kind, because you never know what battles others are facing. So when we go out into the world this week, remember to light it up. I'm Jess.
I'm Shasta.
And that's Kaylee. And we've been the Chicks in Charge. Thanks for watching, guys.
Yay, you've made it this far. And if you want to help the chicks out and add some value, make sure you subscribe right now.
Click that little red button down below. Do it. Do it now.